Since the folks at Wizards of the Coast never seem to sleep, they came up with yet another barbarian primal path in the Unearthed Arcana material. So let's talk about that. Hey fellow Game Masters, I'm Richard Quiner, and welcome back to the RPG Daily, your daily dose of all things tabletop role-playing games, helping you build your world and master your game. Like I said, today we're talking about another barbarian primal path. I know, we already did the series, we already talked about all of them that existed, but this is new. This just came out about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Not too long ago this happened. Now we have yet another barbarian primal path. This one is called the Path of the Beast, and it is really interesting for flavor and a lot of fun maneuvers, but we're going to go over how this thing all works. As we dive into it, it's important to remember that Unearthed Arcana material is playtest, meaning it is not official Wizards of the Coast material until it's published in an actual book. This is just put out there for the community to play and see how they feel about it and give feedback back to the company so they can make some changes and alterations. It's kind of like early access for video games, or demo modes, or beta screenings, beta testing. It's all that kind of stuff. That's Unearthed Arcana. So again, let me know in the comments below what you think of this barbarian primal path, and we can have a little discussion about it. So what is the Path of the Beast? The whole concept behind the Path of the Beast is that the rage is fueled by inner primal bestial nature that the character has. The Path of the Beast connects with the inner animal within them, much like the Totem Warrior primal path, but a little bit different. It also uses some minor shape-shifting abilities, so it's kind of like a diet druid. You don't get a full wild shape, but you get to take on some aspects of the animals. And of course, Wizards of the Coast has suggested some origins for your character that you might like to use to explain where these powers come from. Some of the suggestions they had was perhaps a parent is cursed with lycanthropy, which I did a whole video on lycanthropes. You can look that up, or I'll just link it up here in the little card, wherever that's going to end out. Perhaps if your parent was a lycanthrope of some kind, you could have gotten that curse from them as well, but not as full as they might have had it. Another option is maybe you have a great druid in your ancestry. A great grandparent of some sort may have been a powerful druid, and that ability may have passed on to you through the generations. They also suggest maybe some Fey spirit just gave you the abilities outright and made you who you are. And last, they introduced the concept of an ancient animal spirit that just resides in your body, giving you this ability to shapeshift a little bit here and there. Whatever origin you choose, I think it's a really fun idea that you are half lycanthrope or half werewolf, something where you can kind of change but not fully change. I think that's a really interesting concept, and I think that makes it for a fun flavor of Primal Path. So what do you get with this Path of the Beast? At level 3, you get what's called the Form of the Beast. This is just the beginning for you, and everything in this Primal Path kind of relies on this Form of the Beast. At level 3, when you enter a rage, you can choose one of 3 different transformations that you get that are bestial in nature that provide you with a natural weapon. You can choose which transformation you're going to use at the time of your rage. So you don't have to pick this and keep it throughout the entire game. It's just in the moment you can pick what works for you in that specific time. The 3 options you have are to be able to bite, to be able to claw, and to be able to use your tail as a weapon. The bite, you form kind of like a wolf snout or some sort of more aggressive mouth that with claw fangs, and you're able to do 1d8 piercing damage with a solid bite. And with that bite, you're able to regain some health as well. The claws, you're able to grow your fingernails out more like claws, like a bear or a wolf might have. You're able to use those for a swipe attack, dealing 1d6 slashing damage. And the good thing with this is not only do you get 1 claw attack, but you can do 2 on each of your actions. And the tail transformation gives you a tail that is long and spiny, allowing you to do 1d12 piercing damage from a distance of 10 feet. So that's the tail. So you can see just by learning about these natural weapons that you get with this Primal Path, you can kind of see the theme building here. Everything is going to be related to those natural weapons and how you can use those better. At level 6, you get Bestial Soul, which is just a level up above the transformation you already have. The first part of this is your natural beast weapons are considered magical in terms of dealing with damage resistances. Some creatures in the world are resistant to non-magical damage. That makes these natural weapons magical. That's the quick and short of it. But there is another part of it where your body can actually adapt to different environments when you rage, depending on what environment you're in and what you want to do. The other part of this is you can actually adapt your body to different environments after a rest. You can change how your body is adapted or keep it the same, and it can be useful in several different manners. One, you can gain swim speed equal to your walk speed, and you can breathe underwater with that. Another option is to gain climbing speed equal to your walk speed, and in addition to that, you'll be able to climb on difficult surfaces and upside down on ceilings and things like that, kind of like a spider climb ability. And last, you would be able to gain extra jump distance by doing a special athletics check and adding the number of that check into your distance jumped in feet. So if you roll a 16 on your special athletics check, you would add 16 feet to your jumping distance. At level 10, you get Infectious Fury, which is the level when you get to give something to somebody else. In this case, you pass it on to an enemy, kind of giving them the curse of your bestial nature. When you hit an enemy with your natural weapons, they must take a wisdom saving throw, or else one of two things can happen. One of these options is they must use their reaction to make a melee attack against another target of your choice, or the option 2 is they take 2d12 psychic damage right then and there. So you can see how that one could have potential to mess up an enemy's situation pretty quickly. At level 14, you get Call of the Hunt, which is when you share this primal rage with your allies. How this works is as you begin your rage, you may choose several creatures within 30 feet of you up to the number of your constitution modifier, so this is up to 5. Unless you have over 20 for your constitution modifier, that could be the case. Each of those creatures then gains the reckless attack feature from the barbarian way of life, which is listed in the barbarian overview video. Basically gives them advantages on certain attack rolls. They also then get advantage on saving throws versus being frightened, which is very good. And last, for sharing this ability with your friends, you gain 5 temporary HP for every creature who accepts this gift from you. So if you help out 5 people, you get an instant 25 temporary HP. This ability can be used a number of times equal to your constitution modifier. So if you have a 20 constitution, you can use this 5 times in a day. That's pretty good right off the bat. These skills are really interesting in my opinion. I think it has a lot of flavor, it has a lot of cool stuff going on with it. Thematically, I feel like this is very strong, similar to the Totem Warrior or the Zealot, where they're very unique kind of barbarian classes that really tie into the theme they've made. I think they did that really well for this class, but I do see it falling short in a couple places. Maybe they just haven't made the incentives big enough for me to want to try it. The main healing kind of ability is Call of the Hunt, and since I did the video yesterday making a primal path, I know how hard it is to get survivability into these things, but I feel like that falls short a little bit. The Call of the Hunt is great for temporary HP, but you don't get that till level 14, so you're really just relying on the base barbarian stats, which is fine, but I feel like it could be better. They might have been able to figure out something else there, maybe. Tying into that, with the natural weapons, yes, you do have the bite, you can heal up a little bit, but I feel like the bite itself is kind of weak. You really only, that's the trade-off though, I guess, is you do less damage, but then you heal a little bit. The claws have a baseline of potential 12 damage, I guess, of just the dice, not including the strength modifiers. The tail also has a pretty high damage output. I would probably find myself sticking with the claw attacks more often than not, just because that makes sense to me. The tail with the reach is also really good. I just feel like the bite might just be fallen short and might not be used as much by barbarians as they might have thought. I don't know, you let me know in the comments what you think of that one. With the Infectious Fury ability, you can choose between the 2 options to do to your target. I feel like for me, I would more likely keep picking the 2d12 damage over and over again rather than having them attack an ally. That just makes sense to me. If I'm a barbarian, I'm probably going to be wanting to kill the person right away rather than leave them alive, and if I can do more damage to them, I will. But again, you let me know your thoughts on that one. Some things I do like about it is the kind of spreading the infection or spreading the fury. I do enjoy the idea of taking control of an opponent in some way and making them do something else. I just think the implementation could use a little work on that. I also like the giving your allies different bonuses, or the reckless attack bonus and the advantage on saving throws. I think that's really powerful with Call of the Hunt. I do think the healing in Call of the Hunt is pretty solid, especially 5 times a day. So you have the potential of getting like 100 or 125 HP temporary in a day. Depending on how long it lasts, though, I feel like temp HP probably only lasts until your rage ends. but still it's useful. I think a lot of the standard barbarian feats that I had gone over in the past, such as Savage Attacker or Sentinel, might be really good for this one, being able to give you extra attacks and extra different bonuses with extra different damage output. I could see this class being a really good damage dealer if you take feats that get to add a little extra. Plus you are dealing with, you know, extra attacks, bonus attacks, retaliatory attacks, stuff like that. Just as a barbarian, you get all those. Tying that in with your natural weapons, it has a really good high DPS kind of build potential, I think. Would I play this one? I might. If they do publish it, if they refine it a little bit, I would probably play it. As it's written now, I feel like it's not quite balanced yet, but that's the whole point of Unearthed Arcana. I would actually think it'd be fun to do a whole game of just Unearthed Arcana stuff and playtest material just to actually try it out for once. But you know how things are as playing these games, you never have enough time to play all the games you want to. So I think that covers it pretty much for the Primal Path of the Beast. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been Richard. Thanks for watching.